against Bitanya. I have petition against her. Nonsense. Nonsense. Why is it when it comes to my case, they turn the law upside down? They turn the law upside down. Upside down.
What did you say?
Upside down.
What did you say?
Listen. This is the laws of Nigeria. The prosecution, and this court doesn't know the law. That is the fact.
Hello and welcome back to Oba's Trending Gist, your number one spot for breaking down the biggest stories making waves across Nigeria and beyond. Now, today, we have a massive update on a story that many of you have been following very closely. We are talking about the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB. Just when you think the legal drama couldn't get more complicated, a new development has emerged, not from Nigeria, but from Kenya. And trust me, it's a big one. IPOB is calling it a game changer that could potentially shake the very foundation of Nnamdi Kanu's ongoing trial. So what exactly happened? And what does this mean for the future of his high-profile case? Grab a seat because we are about to break it all down. Alright, so here's the gist. On Sunday, IPOB released a powerful statement. They announced that a high court in Kenya has made a significant judgment about how their leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, was arrested and sent to Nigeria back in 2021. According to the statement, which was signed by their Director of Legal Affairs, Barrister Onyedikachi Ifedi, the Kenyan court found that Nnamdi Kanu's transfer to Nigeria was basically illegal. The court said it breached international laws and Kenya's own constitution. Why? Because there was no proper legal process. For someone to be sent from country to another to face trial, there's supposed to be something called an extradition hearing. It's a formal court process. The Kenyan court is saying this never happened. They are saying he was essentially captured and handed over, which is against the law. Because of this ruling, IPOB is now officially calling on the Nigerian government to take a fresh look at Nnamdi Kanu's trial. Their argument is simple. If the very act of bringing him to Nigeria was illegal, can a trial that comes from that illegal act be legal? Is a powerful question. Now, for everyone who might be new to this story, let's quickly get you up to speed so you understand why this is such a big deal. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is the leader of IPOB, a group that is pushing for independence of Biafra, a region in southeast Nigeria. This has put him in an odds with the Nigerian government for years. He was first arrested in 2015, later granted bail in 2017, and then he left the country. For a few years, he was outside Nigeria. Then, in June 2021, news broke that he had been arrested and brought back to Nigeria. The government called it an interception, but Kanu's lawyer and supporters have already called it an extraordinary rendition or a kidnapping from Kenya. Since then, he has been in detention and trial for various charges, including terrorism. His case has sparked protests, political debate, and call for his release from all over the world. This new ruling from Kenya now adds a huge official piece of the puzzle of what really happened in 2021. Okay, let's get into the legal buzzwords of this situation. IPOB isn't just making noise. They are pointing to specific laws to back up their demand, and this is where it gets really interesting. First, they are pointing to Nigeria's own law, the Terrorism Prevention and Prohibition Act of 2022. IPOB highlights a section, let's not get too technical, but it's section 2(3)FII. Let me take it again. Section 2, subsection 3(FII) that says illegally transfer someone across borders against international agreement can be considered a serious offense. So IPOB's lawyer are basically saying to the Nigerian court, your own rule book says that the way Nnamdi Kanu was brought here is a crime. How can you then try him based on a criminal act? It's a bold move using government's own law against it. Second, they are bringing up the African Charter on Human and People's Rights. This is like a constitution for the African Union member countries, which includes both Nigeria and Kenya. Article 12(4) of this charter says that a person who is legally in a country cannot be expelled. It has to be done according to the law. Since the Kenyan court has now said the law was not followed IPOB is arguing that Kanu's expulsion from Kenya violates this African-wide human rights law. So, putting it all together, IPOB argument is this: the foundation of this case is faulty. If you build a house on a cracked foundation, the whole house is not safe. They are saying the arrest was the foundation, and since a Kenyan court has confirmed it was cracked, the entire trial in Nigeria is questionable. So, what is the end goal here? What does IPOB want to happen right now? Their statement was very specific. One, they are directly calling on Nigerian judge currently handling the case, Justice James Omotosho. They are asking him to be fair and to formally invite both the government's lawyer and Kanu's lawyer to argue about what this Kenyan judgment means to the trial. They want this new evidence to be officially discussed in Nigerian courtroom. Two, they are stressing that this is not about politics. In their words, they are calling for judicial reflection, not confrontation. This means they are asking the court to calmly look at the facts and the law rather than turning it into a political fight. They want the focus to be on justice, constitutional rights, and international law. And finally, they are also talking to Nigerian federal government. They are saying, hey, this isn't the first court ruling in Kanu's favor. They mentioned a past judgment from a court in Umuahia. They are urging the government to look at all these rulings and to talk with international partners like Kenya to resolve this legally and diplomatically. So, where do we go from here? This Kenya court ruling puts Nigeria's government and its judiciary in a tight spot. Will the Nigerian court agree to consider the judgment from Kenya? Legally, a ruling from another country isn't automatically binding, but in a case involving international rendition, it carries a lot of weight and can be very persuasive. This development adds a powerful new weapon to the arsenal of Nnamdi Kanu's legal team. It shifts the conversation from just the charges against him to the very legality of him being in a Nigerian court in the first place. This is no longer just a Nigerian issue. It's an international one, with a clear verdict from the country where the controversial arrest took place. The coming days and weeks will be crucial. We will be watching to see how the Nigerian judiciary and the federal government respond. But I want to know what you think. Is this Kenyan court ruling a true game changer? Do you think it will have any impact on Nnamdi Kanu's trial? Let me know your thoughts, your analysis, your opinion in the comment section below. Let's have a respectful conversation. That's all the gist we have for you today. And on the topic, thank you so much for tuning in. If you found this breakdown helpful, please give this video a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an update from Oba's Trending Gist. Until next time, stay informed and stay safe.